So we just got off the bus. We're at the top of the mountain. We're overlooking some water. What is that? Yukon River, maybe? Not sure, but
Canadian mountains.
Yeah. So
plus the most beautiful sight you'll ever see today.
yeah, it is beautiful. Anyways, we are gonna hang out here for like I think maybe 20, 30 minutes. Yeah, it's very beautiful. So it's kind of like when you think of Alaska, even though we're in Canada, this is what you think of. They're laughing at me. That's all right. But yeah. So if you're like my wife and love to take pictures, this right here was the best place to stop out of the whole cruise and take pictures. It was beautiful. So here's the train arriving from Skagway, Alaska. So you can either get on at the bottom of the mountain and ride up to British Columbia, or you can get on the top, and you don't really decide. When you buy your ticket, they decide for you. But luckily, we got on the last train car, which is the best view because obviously you can get on the caboose and you don't have another train car on the way. We are about to board the train. So you ready? You pumped? We just made it on the train. Nice, comfortable seating, and I'd say it'll be like 30 minutes before we go back down the hill, but maybe we'll see something cool. Ain't that right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So here we are. We just left British Columbia. We left from the top of the mountain. We're going down to Skagway, Alaska. You can see just the beautiful views. Another tip for the train ride is if you're going up the hill, set on the left side of the train. If you're going down the hill, set on the right side if you want the best views. Also, like I said, if you can get on the caboose, that is the best. They just put us on there. I don't know, maybe you can ask for that. But as you can see in these videos here in a little bit, I get on the back of the train car on the caboose, and it's just so many wonderful views. So here's the views from the back of the caboose. As I was talking about earlier, you can just see everything. It's the best view on the whole train, and the views are just phenomenal.
But also with the opportunity for a bold frontier adventure. The Klondike was to be
As you can see here, the width of the gauge on the White Pass and Yukon Railroad is actually just 36 inches wide, when the standard for the whole world is actually 56.5 inches wide. And basically what that means is from one rail to the other, the width is 36 inches wide. It's very narrow. It's narrow gauge. And the reason for this was they didn't have to build a huge, wide road bed, and it saved a lot of money. So I actually work on the railroad, and this is the only narrow gauge railroad that I've ever seen, so it's pretty cool. So here we are up in British Columbia, heading down into Alaska on the train. It's awesome. Views are great. Yeah, it's been great. I mean, look, it's just breathtaking views everywhere. It's a must-do if you're on a cruise. Must-do. Well, the White Pass and Yukon Railroad actually ascends 3,000 feet in just 20 miles with over 4% grades and 2 tunnels and a lot of bridge trestles, as you're about to see a tunnel and bridge trestle just after.
Looking to the right, ladies and gentlemen, you can begin to see our famous steel arch cantilever bridge. This bridge was completed in 1901. At that time, it was known as the highest cantilever bridge in the world, standing 215 feet from the valley floor. Clearly, we no longer go a title that ranks us up with the likes of the Panama Canal, the Eiffel Tower, and the Statue of Liberty.
So if you just heard the tour guide talking, you heard that that was actually the biggest cantilever bridge of its kind in 1901. So that's another fun fact about this. But let's get into the history of the White Pass and Yukon Railroad. So they started working on this railroad in 1898. It went under construction, and it took about 2 years to finish. It was about 1900 when they got it done, and it became the primary route to the interior of Yukon, but it was all done because of the Klondike Gold Rush that was taking place. The route continued operation until about 1982, and in 1988 it was partially revived. This railroad was actually bought by Carnival Cruise Line in July 2018. So another pro tip, if you are on a cruise and you want to do this tour and it's like $350, and you're on a budget, well, just get off the boat and book it when you get off the boat, because it's only $152 if you book it when you get off the boat. But if you're worried about the boat leaving you or whatever, then maybe you want to book it on the boat. But you can get off the boat and see. But I would say this tour is a must-do, because look at these views. They're just amazing, and you just can't beat them. Right here is actually the bridge, cantilever bridge. You just seen me zoom in there. But it's just beautiful views, and I would highly recommend this trip. Here it is again. So a lot of people was worried about booking excursions when they got off the cruise, like not through the cruise line. But a lot of the excursions was the same excursion, so you was on with the people that would be on your boat. So, I mean, I wouldn't worry one bit about that, because they're not going to leave you. And like I mentioned earlier, it's just so much cheaper. So, like I said, if you're on a budget, that's the way to go. So if you look real close right here, you can actually see our cruise ship. That is the city of Skagway, or town. It's not really a big city or nothing like that, but just a beautiful view from probably 1,500 feet above sea level. So right here we actually stopped and got some hikers. I guess they do this quite a bit, because we stopped twice on the whole trip and got some hikers. But right here we're at the bottom of the mountain, and you get some really good views of the creeks and rivers. Just made it back to town off the train. What did y'all think?
I loved it.
You loved it? What about you, Bree?
Awesome, just like our vacation.
Views were great. Highly recommend going on the train
Absolutely.
tour. I don't exactly know what it's called, but I will let y'all know. So once we got down to the city of Skagway, we stopped and got some delicious pizza and pasta at Northern Lights Pizzeria, and it was actually phenomenal. I know you probably eat a lot of pizza on the cruise, but this was very good. I highly recommend it.